I rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
Welcome in. Hold on, guys. I got a little problem going on here. Hold on. Welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy belated Valentine's Day. Happy belated birthday to me. Woohoo! And we're here. Thank you, guys. We're here to talk about Married at First Sight. To give you a recap, this is season 16. And this is Jamaican Me Crazy episode, guys. How's everybody doing? Kimberly, Roro, Kirby. How's everybody doing today?
Doing great.
Lovely.
I'm doing good.
Lovely.
Oh, awesome. And Roro?
Lovely. Lovely Sunday.
Oh, awesome. So good. So good. Somebody's breathing into their microphone. Is that me?
I think it's me. I think it's me. It is me.
Oh, okay. Kirby just finished running, guys. He just finished his 5 miles today, so he's breathing a little heavy.
Wow.
Ooh.
Impressive.
I'm just making that up. I'm just making that up,
Oh,
guys.
I just came from my other job. That's why.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know you're running. And Kirby, I want to say, and to all three of you, I want to thank all of you for being part of the panel today. I'm so glad to have all of you. And Kirby, of course, is our latest new special guest. So let's welcome in Kirby, everybody. Woohoo!
Welcome,
yay.
Kirby.
Welcome.
So happy to
Welcome.
have you.
So without delay, we're going to ask you guys to go ahead. If you're here now with the live or on the replay, go ahead, do us a favor. It keeps us going on YouTube. If you just hit that likes, that thumbs up button, don't be afraid to consider becoming a part of the 18 membership here on Actually Aubrey, and we'll go ahead and we'll get started. So first up, we see the guys, they're still in Jamaica for the first part of this episode. They are looking like they're starting to kind of really, everybody has had, at least from what I can recall, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, at least it seems like every couple has had at least one tiff. What do you guys say?
Oh, yes, they're getting it on in Jamaica. I mean, everybody is having something going on, and it's like, come on, guys, enjoy yourself. I think they're doing a little bit too much oversharing. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
You know what? You could be right about that. So we're going to get started with this very controversial couple, Clint and Gina. Clint and Gina, guys. What? I mean, I am so tired. I'm so glad this is the last time they're going to talk about who's a ginger, who's not
Hmm.
slender, who is slender. Like this whole thing. Kirby, what did you think of this as a guy? You know, you represent the sole and only guy on this panel today. What did you think about this? Did you think that Clint should have had to apologize to all the wives?
I don't think that he owed all the wives an apology, just his wife. But I was just
Hmm.
wondering, has she ever apologized to him about him being a ginger?
Ooh, good
Hmm.
question. Ladies, can you
Right.
can you answer that? Kimberly, did she ever apologize? I thought she had kind of, neither one of them seemed to
Mm-mm.
be very good at apologizing.
Right. No, I was waiting for the apology too because to me I think the insults were equal. And really, Kirby, he was just I'm sorry, Kirby. Clint,
Clint.
he was just giving his opinion because he was just saying, he normally dates slender women, but I really didn't even see it as a problem as a plus size lady. I'm always proudly saying I'm close to 300 pounds, like 298. I'm 5'4". So I'm very plus size, and I was not offended at all. But I could see how people could be offended with the ginger comment because it is something she went into depth to say ginger features, not just the color of his hair. But I remember growing up, people would always say, "Oh, you're treating me like the redheaded stepchild," and it was never a compliment.
Oh,
So I
wait a
feel
minute.
that.
Stop. Stop right there. Now, you know what? You just hit on something because I've been telling
Hmm.
people. people, and I haven't really gone back to get all the history, but I know it has something. I believe it has something to do with the Irish versus the British, right? And
Mm-hmm.
there is a whole
Mhm.
thing in Caucasian culture where redheaded people sometimes are not always, like you said, the redheaded stepchild. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
good one. Hey, stay
Yeah.
tuned. Hey, Alan, Monique. So go ahead. You were saying, let's move over here to Robo. Robo, what were your thoughts? Does he need to apologize to all the wives or what?
I don't think he needs to apologize to all the wives. I think that he was being petty because let's face it, he knew I think he knew what he was doing. But I don't think he needs to apologize to all the wives. Everybody had their moment. They're in their feelings. They've been drinking all this time. So, it's kind of hard to monitor your words, when you're a little tipsy. You know what I mean? So
Ooh, you giving excuses away right now? Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
I don't
Right.
think he owes all of them an apology. I mean,
Oh no,
like
I don't think so either. I agree with that, but I was referring to when you said it's a little hard to watch your words when you're tipsy. So I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not a big drinker. I'm an occasional
mhm,
drinker, but I always feel like to me, if you're not in control of everything that you do while you're drinking, guess what?
mhm, you
Guess
shouldn't
what?
drink.
Yeah, yep. Or not to the
Yeah.
point where you're not in control. Like just have one glass of wine or one beer and call it a day. Call it a
Yeah.
night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thought. But this couple here, I don't know. They are really stressing me out because I think that when it all comes down to it, the two of them both have way too much ego. But I will say this though, I think that Clint was willing to let it go. But I think that and we're gonna see. I'm just forecasting really right now. I'm getting the
Mhm.
feeling though. Is anybody else and answer me this, and those in the chat too, do you feel like Gina maybe just is not really willing to give Clint a fair chance? Does anybody else feel that way, or is it just me?
Well, what
I
brought
think
on
so.
the initial comment about him being a ginger? What made her say that initially? That's what I'm curious about.
Ooh,
Like,
good
why did she
question.
just pop out and say that? I think either, you know, something had to pop off for her to even bring it up, or she's just mean if she just brought it up for no reason.
I think that was the question maybe production gave them because I believe the same episode Shaquille and Kirsten were talking about their attraction because he was saying that he would be attracted to her if she gained 10 pounds. And she
Mhm.
was like, I'm not attracted to bald heads. So it's like, I believe all the couples were talking about attraction that
Oh, okay.
episode.
Oh, so they just
Because
didn't
Oh,
even
show
Kurt,
those two
even,
beforehand.
right.
Oh, okay. Because it just made it seem like she just said that out of the blue,
Mm-hmm.
and if I were him, I probably would have felt the same way, even though I don't understand why redhead and fair skin is an issue, but that's another story,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah, but
mm. Oh, go ahead, Kirby. What were you saying?
I was saying, um, if he had to apologize, then I think she should have also apologized to him publicly as well, though, because
Yes, I
I
agree.
don't, I don't really think what he said was that offensive. But how should I put this?
Hmm.
Women, women, women who are not that much bigger tend to be very offended when it comes to their weight and more conscious. Is it
Yes,
just
yes.
me?
I think so. And then I think we're going to find out. It seems like she probably, I think she mentioned somewhere earlier in the earlier episodes that she has put a lot of work into her body. So I'm not sure exactly. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe within these next, 15, 18, 19, 20 episodes, we're going to find out exactly what that means. Did she have did she work out to lose the weight? Did she have some kind of procedure? Did she have, cool sculpting and all of these different new modern technology things that you can do to lose weight? We're going to find out. But I'm just saying, I think these couples, I think with Gina though, I just get the feeling, and I'd be willing to admit if I'm wrong as we go along. I feel like she's already shut down Clint, but Clint was still open to her. So that's not that I don't like.
hmm, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah,
but
this is kind
anyway.
of hard to get past because, like
Mhm.
Eric said later, that they both kind of, called each other unattractive on the low. Like I don't think I like the way you look. Both of them said that without saying it. They said it in other words with the ginger and the,
Hmm.
you know, I used to date
Oh.
more slender women.
Right.
So
I
But
agree.
it just
but did
really,
you think did you think, Roro, that he was saying the part that he said really more as a petty get back, but not necessarily meaning that he was closed off to her? Because I don't know if it's just me, but it seemed like he was trying to get to know her, but he was getting tired of her always talking about the salon, the salon, the salon. like
I
like do
was
is
getting
it
tired of her talking about that daggone salon. Come on.
Me too.
yeah. Yeah, let me see what
Yeah,
Stay Tuned has says. Gina was checked out from the marriage when she had time to process being married to Clint, and Dominique was checked out the minute she learned that she had nothing in common. Well, yeah, having nothing in common with your lifetime, supposed to be your lifetime spouse. I think that would give anybody room for pause. And let's see
right.
what Alyssa. Hey, Alyssa. Alyssa says Gina checked out when she remembered him from the from the from the elevator. Right, right. The old man upstairs, as the concierge called him. She's trying not to get a bad edit. Right. Yeah. I got a feeling that's a little bit of what it is. That's what I'm saying. I feel like she's checked out. Whereas Clint, he was at least open to the process. And but we're gonna find out though. We're gonna find out about who really was. So we're gonna move on to our next couple, and that would be Kirsten and Shaquille. Woo!
Mhm.
There's so much to be can be said about them. So much to be said. Where do we start? Kirby, what do you think of this couple? Do you think that Kirsten is gonna fall in love? Is she open to love? Do you feel like Shaquille is open to being in love with her? What do you think? What are your thoughts about it?
I think that Shaquille is open to fall in love with her, but she's not open to falling in love with him because the moment she saw him, she completely lost interest. And I don't know if that would change. Maybe if Shaq can grow some hair, it might change.
Yes.
But
Amen.
Oh
Yes.
Lord have mercy. The man is completely bald, guys. I don't know where he gonna get this hair from. Is he gonna get it from the beauty supply store? Where is he gonna get this
Some
hair?
hair
He gonna
plugs.
yeah, some or I mean they do have a few actors out there that got the real good I don't know what they call them for men, those wigs for men or whatever they're called, toupees or whatever. But
Mhm.
he's already said that he's proud of who he is and he's not gonna change. So I don't know. I don't know about that,
Yeah.
but um
'Cause, yeah, I'm with the team grow hair, but it'll always be something. Once he grows hair, it's gonna be something else.
yeah,
Yeah, she does. She is not attracted to him, not in the least. I don't see where there's anything about him that's appealing to her. So it's
Yeah.
a
nothing,
wrap.
nothing.
Right.
And I think somebody said here, who is it that said that? Oh wait a minute, let's see what stay tuned. Oh, oh wait a minute, Monique King, not the man weave girl, not the man. And let's see, Stay Tuned says
They have
Kirsten
them.
should have been matched with Eris. Yeah, because you know what? I feel like the two of them would have gathered each other up just right because I think she's kind of got a little hood in her, and I definitely feel like Eris has hood in him. So the two of them would have been a perfect match. You're right about that. The marriage would have still failed exactly, but
Right.
Kirsten would have at least given Eris a chance and vice versa. Yeah, you're right about that. Well, he would have, according to what Eris is now saying about his body type, I think that Kirsten has all that body yaddy yaddy and booty ooty ooty. I
Well,
think
he
that
definitely would have liked her, but I don't
he would
know.
have liked
Does
her.
he have, yeah, does he have all the packaging that she really wanted that she talked about in the
That's a good
picture?
point. Is he educated? I never heard him say that he has even a bachelor's degree. Does he have a master's
No.
like she does? He doesn't come across as if he does. If he does, I'll stand corrected. But
Me too.
I just get from eras that he's really for the streets and from the streets and for the streets. And I hate to say that, but I want to know. Let me just say this total sidebar here. I want to know, why is it that maps every year, Married at First Sight, they want to give the black women and the women of color the guys that seem to have that are the least established, you know? Because we're gonna
Mhm.
talk about that too when we get up to Dom and Mac. In fact, let's just go ahead. Is there anything else? What did we miss? What did I miss? These guys, uh, they were kind of quiet during they kind of like they had made a pact. They gave each other a 7, and or she gave them a 7. Kirby, I think your mic. I don't know if you're still breathing real heavy into the mic or no. Um, but I think that it's like they made a pact. What do you guys think? What about you, Roro?
Well, Jasmine and Eris, as far as their ratings go, she gave him a seven. Well, she gave their marriage a 7.5 to an 8, but he gave her a 7, which was really a sideways 4.
Right,
You
right,
know.
right. But we haven't gotten to them. We're still on this couple, though. I wanted to stay
Oh, you
focused on
mean
And Shaq. Kirsten
oh
and
yeah,
Shaq.
okay.
I was
Yeah.
saying that I feel like, tell me if you saw something different. I felt like when Kirsten answered for the both of them, I felt like she basically had was giving him like that little look, like or kicking him under the table, like you better go along with what I said.
Right.
Right.
Did
Maybe
we
she
talk
was
about?
afraid of what he would say.
Yeah.
If he would say the truth about how she's one way on camera and another way off
Ooh.
Ooh,
camera.
good point.
Mhm.
Good
Yeah, she
point.
was
Good
trying to keep
point.
him from bringing that out.
Right,
Mhm.
right. But now, Kimberly, what were you gonna say?
I think Kirsten is trying to play it safe too because she also brought up, I think, this episode about him joking too much. So I think she's trying to build her case against him, not only the bald head, but now she's complaining about the jokes.
Ooh, you know what? It does sound like it. It does feel like it too. It feels like she
Hmm.
just wants to start to build her case, like you said. Ooh.
Looking for an
Hmm.
Look,
out.
look at what Alyssa said too.
Mm,
Oh.
something.
Hmm.
Right, right, right. We're
That's
not
what the
really
streets are
sure.
saying.
Yeah, that's what the streets is saying. I'm not saying it, but
Me either.
I'm not denying it either. Uh, okay, I thought I had hit this. Okay, stay tuned says uh, on Kirsten's hierarchy of need, a man giving her that premium. You so silly. Giving her that premium pickle tickle was tops on her list. Well, now stay tuned. You may have to go back a few episodes when we were reviewing and recapping this. But I've already said that from what I could tell, he's definitely could take care of mama. Like he's packing down there because remember the episode where she was sitting on his lap. I think right after they got married and right after the reception, they got back to the honeymoon suite. She sat on his lap, and when she got up, brother man definitely packing. So it's no problem there. But I don't know if he knows
Oh,
what to do
I
with it. I
missed
don't know
that.
nothing else. Oh yeah, go back and look, guys. I want to tell you, go back and look because you know. Hey, you don't get to be my age without knowing how to look for the package.
Okay. I believe you.
And Alyssa says black women know, yeah, struggle up and build a males. Yeah, that's it. But I don't like it that math does it because the other women, like, look at, we'll go back to seasons ago. Virginia got her a whole airline pilot who was also still in the Air Force. So, I mean, he's bringing in two paychecks. And there is all
Mm.
good money. And you could tell when we met his parents, you could tell that he was from an affluent home. So I don't understand why they keep giving the black women and the women of color these hobos.
Yeah, and Virginia didn't even appreciate it.
No, she
Nope.
didn't. She was a whole fool, but she gonna regret that. She gonna sit back the rest of her life because I tell you, unless she cleans herself up from that drinking, she ain't gonna never get a man like him because she clearly has problems with the alcohol.
Yeah.
So, that's sad, but
Yeah.
that's really sad. But that's what I see. That's what I see. Um, okay, so then now you can talk a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and go to this next couple. Let me find them here. Uh, Now I think you were saying about Kirsten or not Kirsten. Lord have mercy, help me. My memory here today. Mac and Dom. Did we do them yet? We didn't do them.
No.
No.
Mac and Dom. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. I am going to take them down. I'm going to go back because I wanted to get to what you were saying about Jasmine and Eris. Let's go ahead and skip to them. So on Jasmine and Eris, you were saying something about when they were rating each other at the table. What were you going to say, Roro? Can you repeat that about
Oh,
Eris
oh,
and Jasmine?
sure. Sure. When they were rating each other at the table, Jasmine rated their marriage as a 7.5 to an 8. I think she's really kind of in a fantasy world, but he gave her a 7, which is really a sideways four, because that's what he had told the guys,
Right, right. Isn't that
that
something? Do you
so
Mhm.
feel
he.
do you
Mhm.
feel like he was being deceptive, Roro, when he was doing all of that?
Yes, and I think maybe he was trying not to look bad, number one, on camera. Also, in front of her, he was probably trying to, not make her feel embarrassed. So I'll give him that. But, they were saying, let's keep it honest, and he wasn't. He's being two-faced.
Yeah.
He was gaslighting her to be, put it a better
I
way.
I think he could be. Anybody want to jump in? Kimberly, you have any thoughts about it? About Eris
Um,
and mhm.
yeah, I don't see a match with him and her. I do feel like she's not gonna step up and do what she needs to do, which is ditch him unless he makes the call. And I'm just waiting and ready to see the other side of Jasmine because there has to be a reason that they match them to. I'm not seeing it yet. So I think we're going to get to see another side of Jasmine and say, aha, that's why they matched them too. So I'm just ready to get to that moment because she is very polished. She's been through the pageants and the beauty competition. So she is very well put together, but I think it's something else inside that we're not seeing just yet.
You know what I think the thing of it is. That's a good point about what did they match them for. I think they matched them simply because she's very easygoing. She's very patient. She has the patience of Job in the Bible. And
Yes.
I feel like they just put her together with him because they said, well, she gonna try and try and try and try till she can't try no more. I feel like
Mhm.
that's the reason. I mean, it was no other reason. They have nothing in common. She has a fleet of dogs and puppies at home. He has
Yeah.
none. So they
He
don't have
checked
that in
out with those
common.
dogs.
Yeah, they don't really outside the fact that they're both African American. Yeah, that
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
one thing. But what else do they have
Right.
in common? Kirby, what do you think about this couple and how Eris rated his wife in the marriage in two different areas?
Okay, I think the reason why he gave his wife like a seven with the couples is that he just didn't want to embarrass his wife in front of other couples, and plus also when
Okay.
men have like a conversation about their wives in private, it's not
Mhm.
going to be talked about amongst the women, even though the show will be taped and she will see it later on. But that's
Mhm.
that's another thing. But
So a little
yeah,
bit of boys talk, Kirby. It sounds like you're saying it's just a little bit of boys talk. Like he felt. So in other words, you're saying that Eris felt comfortable discussing it with the other husbands because he felt like he was safe with that, right?
yes, and mind you, also once you get to the house, he also tells her that his house has like a man cave where men talk about women. So therefore, these
Mm.
conversations are not going to be talked about with his wife.
You
Even
know what? While we're on this, you bring up a good point. While we're on this, I want to say this. Did anybody notice? So when they got back from the honeymoon and they got to Eris's place allegedly. Now, what had Eris told his wife while they were on the honeymoon that whatever place they lived in, he wanted it to show that what black people lived there, right?
Yes.
So now
yeah,
we get back to Nashville. We go to his home, and two things that really were obviously conflicting with what he was saying. One, nobody took their shoes off, not even him, not even her.
Hmm.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And then two, there was no black art nowhere to be found in that whole house. And we saw several rooms. We saw his workout room. We saw his man cave. We saw all of these different rooms and even the hallways. Did anybody see any African art? Or did I miss something?
I didn't see
Nope.
one.
nope.
And didn't they say early on it wasn't his house anyway? He's living with someone, so that would explain it, right?
Yeah,
Oh
because
no,
how
I didn't
long has
catch
he been
that.
in Nashville? How long
I
has he
didn't.
been there? Has he
I
been there
didn't.
long enough to get a house like that? I mean,
Okay, hold on, hold on. I didn't get that, Kimberly. When did you hear him say that he was living with a friend? Because nowhere in that house, when he was showing it to her, I never heard him. I never heard him say it this episode. So wouldn't he have said that to her this episode?
I'm not sure, but it's not a friend. I can't remember who they said he was living with, but it was
Is it
around the
the
time.
cousin? Is it the cousin?
Oh gosh,
Wait a minute.
maybe.
I thought it was a McKinley that was living with a friend because, mind
it
you, a
is.
McKinley moved from Washington to Nashville, And
Yep, it was him too. But we were saying about Eris that somebody was washing his laundry. But I hope it's not the cousin. Oh, that would be terrible. But yeah,
Wouldn't it be?
someone was saying he was 39 and had a roommate, and that was when I was just done.
Mm. These men 39, never been married. Mm-mm-mm.
Never been
Never
in
said, never
love.
been, yeah, exactly. Never been in love. They bring him on this show for what purpose?
Yeah.
What
And what does
purpose?
he do? What does he do for an income? I mean, I'm trying to understand because maybe
I,
that has something to do with it. Where has
I,
he been?
I think he's a
Uh,
software developer though.
Oh, he
He
is?
works in
yeah, I
IT.
thought they did say something along those lines, right? Because other than that, I don't know, and I'm still not convinced on that because nothing that he speaks about or how he speaks or how he carries himself gives me any indication that. Okay, let me just move on.
Mm,
I'm
I
not
feel
seeing it
you.
for him. I'm
I
not
feel
seeing
you.
it for him as being well educated, well rounded. I'm not seeing it. I'm
Me
seeing him
either.
as right. And you know the thing about the sad part about it, like a lot of men, um, and particularly men of color who haven't learned their own value and worth, he places a lot of value into sex and objectifying women. You know who
Hmm.
has what kind of hips and what kind of behind. But let's talk about this for a minute. What about when he said that he was really sure that even after just 1 week, that if he was in an accident, that she would wipe his boo booey behind? Was anybody offended by
Hmm.
that? Because I was offended by that. I had to start cursing.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. He probably would
yeah.
have gotten it then. I would have lost it on him,
Hmm.
because would he do it for her?
Oh, Ellen V asked the question. Isn't it wasn't it Eris' mom who does his laundry still?
Yes.
Girl, yes. Girl, yes. I forgot all about that. Thank you for reminding me. See, you know what? Now that's definitely a build a man right there. Like you got to
Mm-mm.
build a whole male. He doesn't do laundry. He doesn't know how to do any housework. But yet he expects you to feed him grapes and give him sex.
But
What?
then
The
he can
soggy and
direct
bacon.
how things are going to go in the household,
Say,
how he
say
wants
again, Roro.
everything. But then he can direct how things are going to go in the household. He wants her to do everything, but he wants to direct what is to be done.
Oh,
See, that's where
he,
we would have fallen out. As soon as they walked into the shared apartment, he starts telling her, "Well, everything to the left in a box is mine, and what's over there is mine, and don't touch this, and take your shoes off. Tell your folks to take their shoes off." Like, come on. Couldn't he at least have told her, "Well, this is how I like things. What do you think?" Does she have an
right.
opinion about anything? Does she have
Mm-mm,
any input,
mm-mm, mm-mm.
on
No,
anything?
he's not. It doesn't seem
No,
like he's allowing it. It doesn't seem like he's open to it.
no.
Kirby,
So
if that was your wife and guys were coming back from a honeymoon, and let's just say you were crazy enough to be on Married at First Sight, so your wife was a stranger, and you're describing your home to her and what etiquette you'd like for her to display and respecting your home, which would be now you guys' home. Um, do you think you would have been that way, or how would you have explained yourself?
I wouldn't have been like Eris, but I would have been more inviting, and also been willing to listen to a few suggestions rather than
Mm-hmm.
saying, "Oh, this is going to be this way. Oh, this is going to be that way," yada yada, so forth. So I feel like he might just be saying that to be showing her that he's like the man of the house, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
really think he is the
ooh,
man of the house.
Mm.
So
mm,
Now, okay, tell me, explain it, kind of clarify a little bit more at the end when you say that he's not the man of the house. He's a male and he's an adult by virtue of his chronological age. So why do you feel like he's not the man of the house? Why would you say that?
he's trying to show her that he's assertive, so to speak, by
Ah,
having all these rules for his house. Though I mean, even though everyone has rules for their home, it feels like he's doing way too much.
yep.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I used to say, like, if you're gonna wear the pants, keep them on. Don't take them off, and then let me have to wear them. You know what I mean? So
Ooh, bravo,
I don't know.
bravo.
I can't see it in him. Coming across like that, being demanding. And as you say, Kirby, assertive. Well, I think it's more of a, aggressive. But
Yeah, that
and
was
then,
that was just aggressive. Right.
yeah, if you want to lead, then you got to be able to be followed. If you want someone to submit to you, you got to be able to be submitted unto. Not, and that's not the way.
That's not.
So,
Speaking of wearing the pants, who's wearing the pants in this couple right here? That would be Dominique and Matt McKinley, right? So who's wearing the pants in that relationship? Because
yeah.
Mac is kind of and I think everybody talked about, we know that Eris is an only child because he even talked about that he has a little bit of only child syndrome, as he called it. I happen to be an only child, so I kind of get a little bit of that. But if I'm not mistaken, uh, Dominique is also an only child. Mac, he has a sister and a brother, so he's not an only child. But she's been very bossy about him wanting her wanting him to do all the activities. While I understand that she might want to take advantage of Married at First Sight's dime, I felt like, if he wasn't willing to do some of these more adventurous athletic activities, she should have been a little bit more understanding. Is it just me, Kimberly?
Oh, I think that her pressuring him to be more excited about it was a little much, but I'm the type that I would like my partner to participate in events with me, but we kind of saw the same with Shaquille not really wanting to get into it because of past trauma. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
okay.
he
I
did.
think
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, I think Dominique was just pressuring him a little too much, and he was quick to apologize, which is good. I just don't see, she just keeps picking at him, it seems. Even when we go to the house, she was not impressed with the basement at all. So, uh,
Well, no, because I mean, and it's not even his basement. It's somebody
Exactly.
else. It's like the parent of a friend. It's not even. Listen to this. Think about this for a minute. How removed that is. It's not even your close
mhm.
best friend. It's not even their house. It's their parents' house. So now you trying to
Right.
tell me when they
Taylor's
come back
parents.
from the honeymoon, you trying to tell me that he expects her to move down into the basement? Like, would that even be
Mhm.
acceptable in any real world?
No,
No,
Mm-mm.
no,
No,
that's
crazy,
mm.
just craziness. But I
but
want to
they were.
go ahead.
Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, no, you go ahead.
I was saying, but they were touchy feely allegedly from the what
Yes,
we saw at
that's what
the
I was
after
getting ready to
party.
say. Touchy feely, touchy. I think, and nobody, I don't know if they asked this question or not, I don't recall, but I think that these two consummated their marriage. What do you guys think? Anybody else see that?
I think so too.
Well, something might have
Hmm.
happened after the pool, after they were in that pool.
Right.
Remember at the
Oh
honeymoon?
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because they were being very romantical and intimate in that pool. But what they were talking about on the after party, Roro, and I don't know if our viewers have seen this, but go back, guys. This was a very good after party, by the way. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna stay on this couple for a second, but I got to go back to our last couple. This couple, according to Nicole was pointing out, and they showed the clip that these two were dancing together, but then they got up and they left. So, like, if you're dancing together really closely, you're already married. That leads me to think that they went back to their room to take care of some hot and heavy time. We'll call it, okay, hot and heavy time, guys. So, I don't know. I'm thinking that these two have consummated. I'm afraid. I'm really definitely afraid that Eris and Jasmine have consummated. I'm afraid that girl has given up the goods to that man, that homosexual, that that male. He's not even a man, but that male, just not even fully
Oh,
grown yet, stunted
I
in his
hope
growth.
not.
I
I
hope
don't
not either.
know. I'm
Kirby,
50-50.
you 50-50 that which one, that the couple right here has consummated that.
I agree that they have, but I don't think Eris and Jasmine have.
I hope she's not that
Oh,
gone yet. She can't be that gone yet. I'm just really hoping that the sensible, level-headed, intelligent
Right.
woman inside her has some, control over the situation. Because he hasn't given her, from what we can see, he hasn't given her
Nope.
anything to feel comfortable enough about to do that. You know, everything he's done has
Mhm.
just been kind of offensive, if you ask me.
Mm.
Right.
You know, so he hasn't been romantic. He hasn't been protective. He hasn't been sexy. He hasn't been comical. He's just nothing. He's just dead, like his eyes. His eyes are dead
Mhm.
to me.
Which
Yeah.
one are we
So
talking about now? Are we talking about Mac in this moment, or are we talking about Eris again?
Eris and
Paris.
Jasmine. Yeah,
Oh
because
yeah, his
Kimberly said
eyes.
she believed Jasmine
Mhm.
gave in to him. So
I do too. I think she did. But think about what she's been saying all along. She says that she's quick to fall in love. So, i.e.,
mhm,
if a guy's halfway looking good, and we saw her on the first day of the honeymoon talking about, oh, my man look good. Look at his chest. Look at this. Look at that. So that kind of leads me to believe. I think the problem with Jazz, I think she came there with just the right intentions, but the problem with her, like with a lot of women, is that when you rush to jump in the sack with these guys, you go from the representative to somebody now that's the real person. But the problem is you didn't do the work of collecting data on who he is. Does he have a job? Is he actually even single? I was watching something the other night, and this woman had fallen for this guy, and they were together for like a good year and a half. And then one day his wife called her, and she was like, who? What? So
yeah,
you'd be surprised what men get away with because women are failing to do checks, doing identity checks, doing marriage checks, doing how much money do you make checks. Because I don't think it makes a woman a gold digger to know how much money a man that she plans to get serious with, how much he earns. I think that's a fair question, and
it's
vice
very
versa.
fair. It's
Vice
very
versa.
fair. It's very
So,
fair. But yeah.
go ahead.
But he did clap for her when he saw her coming down the aisle. Remember? He thought that
Let
he
me
must
let
have
me
just
go.
been blown away.
Well, yeah, people do. I think here's the thing, though. Okay, so we're gonna go back and put them back up on the screen because we're talking about this couple now. I think that people do, and I think that everybody that comes on the show has to be aware that there are people that are gonna come on the show with you, could even be your spouse, that they're gonna be performative because this is a national, internationally syndicated show, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So him
Yeah.
clapping for her, first of all, let's to be fair, not to be cruel, he saw her from the distance. As she got up closer, all of the well, I'm not going to speak for anybody else. I will say what I saw was as she got closer and he looked her face to face right there in front of him, he did not have that same hype. Okay.
Right.
All
Oh,
right.
okay.
So I think you have to look at that. And then I
Yeah.
think, like I said again, not only that, but again, I'm gonna go back to this. Women have to really let men show them who they are. They have to
Hmm.
Mhm.
believe that the
Mhm.
actions have to mean more than a gesture of clapping, whistling, or saying you look good. Because all men say that to all women that they want to take to bed. They're not gonna tell you, "Oh, you ugly. I don't like your dental hygiene." They're not gonna tell you that. They want to get in that bed and rump and do whatever, and that's what it
Mhm.
is. I'm sorry, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
unfortunately, some lowbrow characters like a Eris, that's what they're willing to do. A real
Mhm.
Hmm.
man, in my opinion, that has a high value man that has high moral character, he's not going to do that because he already has his selection to pick from, and you can best believe they all got pretty smiles. So,
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
so
And
we're
well, she
gonna
said that on the show, on the after show. That's what stood out to her. That's why I brought it up. But
You're right.
you're
You're
right.
right.
And the
She
thing
did.
is, like I said, I'm hoping that, like as you say, that she will find something to feel comfortable about. That the at least the
Hmm.
super intelligent woman inside of her, the accomplished woman, would come forward and make her think about what he's doing, and he's not doing anything to give in for. He's not. So
Okay. And
I'm just being
what
hopeful.
Okay, okay, and that's good. I want to move on to Nicole and Chris. Do you think that this gentleman here, do you think that Chris is doing anything to make her feel safe? What do you think,
Well,
guys?
he may have been until he started boohooing out there like somebody stole his bicycle. So, mm,
I
I
thought
can't
somebody
with
No.
had
it.
died when they showed the
No.
previews, and I'm gonna jump around here a little bit, but I honestly thought maybe his mother, father, somebody close to the family had a heart attack or stroke, had been incapacitated or possibly passed away.
Yeah,
Because I
something
was like, this
serious.
man. I mean, it wasn't like he had just some tears rolling down his eyes. And people are gonna say, well, you know what, Aubrey, you are sexist. You are wrong. I'm not sexist. I understand that men have emotions too. I do understand that. but I'm trying to picture a world where I, as a woman, I have pets right now. I've had dogs, I've had cats. I happen to have two fur babies, which are feline, two cats. And I'm trying to picture a world where I'm going to bawl and cry like he did because we
Mm.
have to make a simple adjustment for just a number of weeks, not, for 2 months, but not for a year. I'm just really trying to understand where I, as an intelligent person who can make decisions and work on things. Kimberly, what were your thoughts about this? What were your thoughts about him crying, and how did Nicole handle it? Do you think she handled it very well?
My first thought was Justin would never. Justin from last season, we know we deemed him as the crybaby, but the
Oh
way
yeah.
McKinley went off, like you said, he was boohooing. It was not warranted. No, I do not feel like he is being the protector, the leader in the household. I'm split on how Nicole reacted. She reacted too soon. I think she should have gave it time for Chris to come up with a solution, not jumping in, being the man, or being the leader in that situation, and just taking things into her own hands and giving him 100% what he wanted. There was no compromise there on his part. So I just don't know how she could feel protected if I, as the woman, always have to come up with the solution. And to me, it seems like she's wearing the pants in this relationship, because if you go back to the conversation they had about children, she made the decision, no, I'm not open to having children yet. We'll revisit it in a year and hopefully we're on the same page. And he was like, no, I want two children. So here's another situation where she's making decisions again.
Hmm. Wow. That's all. Those are all very good points. I mean, um, I feel like she did do her best though. Did you agree with me, Kimberly? Or you don't have to, and you guys out in the chat and you guys that are watching on replay, be sure to leave a comment. Do you feel like she really tried to work with him and tried to
Oh,
take the
yes.
high road? Okay. And what about you, Kirby? What were your thoughts about this situation with the dogs?
Yeah, she did try to work with him by leaving, I think, her dog with her father,
Mm-hmm.
just
Yep.
so that his dog could stay in the house. Or oh yeah, this place was the apartment given by the show, so that's why
Right.
Hmm.
yeah. I was gonna say that why can't they find like another place, but that's when I remember that the show gave him that apartment,
Right. Oh
or
yeah,
Hmm.
they have to stay where the show is providing for them to stay. So yeah.
yeah.
My thought was too though, and I guess some people, you guys in the chat, do you guys have two or more dogs? What do you know about this separation anxiety? Because let me go back to Alyssa. She had something to say, and I wanted to read that. She says people
Hmm.
are missing the fact that he knows his dogs have separation anxiety and hasn't gotten them help. Alyssa, I noticed he did say that. I remember he said about them having separation anxiety and depression. I heard him say, and I thought to myself, I said, "Well, are you sure that it's them that has the separation anxiety and depression, or could it be you?" Because I've been noticing. I mean, honestly, I think Chris is a nice guy. But if you've noticed and watched him even during the honeymoon, he always has a little bit of melancholy. And this whole thing that he and Nicole do, sharing, who had the worst ex, who burnt the most cigarettes in their skin. And I just don't understand these people. Like, why are we talking about our exes? I know I do love the fact. Now, I will say this. I'm gonna do the pros first. I love that they are giving each other. They're getting to know each other. These two seem to be the
Yes.
only two that are really asking each other the tough questions, right? But
Hmm.
when you start delving into my ex did this, my ex did that. He says that his ex they only had hot and heavy time 3 times in a year and a half, and this guy is in his early
Wow.
30s. I can't even imagine. I'm sorry, that'd be like 3 times every day. Okay, back in those days for me. But I don't really
Woo-hoo.
understand. I no, really, I don't understand it. I think that Chris maybe, I'm not sure. We're gonna find out more about him as the season goes along. But I'm wondering too, did he use those tears like we used to say for Justin? Did he use those tears to manipulate her?
Yes.
I believe he did. I believe, well, even if he didn't, if once he snapped out of it, he should have realized, as her husband, that he could have at least tried to offer a solution as well, tried to come up with something. He couldn't come up with anything, and he was so grateful that she was the one willing to make the sacrifice for her and let her dogs go away. Well, where are the dogs now during the honeymoon, during the 8 days or the
Exactly.
where are
Exactly.
they and how are they getting along? So
Right.
something just wasn't right there. I mean, I think that, that was very weak of him to do that. If he
I
was going
felt
to
like it.
cry, he should have went somewhere where no one could see him if that was the case, if he just had
I
to cry. But
felt.
I mean, the dogs
I
weren't, I mean, if the dogs were dead, I
okay.
could have given him I could have given him a break, but no, they were, he's just concerned because they would have to be separated for a little while.
Okay,
No.
hold on. Okay, hold it there. I want to read this. Stay tuned says Chris' crises was averted with a few phone calls made by Nicole. If Chris lacks the critical thinking skills to solve a problem like this, how will he be ready for kids and a wife? And stay tuned. Bravo, bravo to you. That's
Hmm.
exactly my thoughts when I saw him. I said, you know what? It's not even that he's emotional, but it's the part where if he had gotten emotional while he was talking to her, at least trying to solve this question or this dilemma that he has in his head that hasn't even occurred yet. This hasn't even taken place. But if he had sat down and talked to her, and while he was talking to her, he became emotional, at least we would have
Hmm.
known what he was crying about. But I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of high hope for a guy to be resilient and to be strong and for me to be able to lean on him when he can't even look at this problem and come up with some kind of resolution or talk to me about it. Let's just talk about it at least, right?
Right.
Right.
And
Definitely.
Kimberly, what were you thinking about this? Did you just really think that I mean, does any of this bother you?
Oh yeah. I could see, like I said earlier, just from Chris's demeanor, from the beginning of the show, that he would be the more laid back one, and I guess Nicole is going to be carrying the relationship as long as it lasts. From what I heard, that I think they're still together, so I don't know.
Don't
It
be
does
giving away
bother me.
spoilers. Don't be
Oh,
giving away
sorry.
spoilers. Yeah, Nurse AP, I agree with you. Nicole absolutely did. I'm really beginning. She is quickly becoming like my favorite castmate this season thus far. I mean, I
Hmm.
know, yeah, she talks, a lot, and they say, she's got to have this catchphrase or word, pineapple. But I really think that she's in it for the right reasons. I think she really wants to be married, and she really cares about Chris. The only thing I'll say for her is don't become this Stasha, and don't keep asking this man every night and every day, "Do you love me? Do you love me?" That's
Oh,
that's
yes.
annoying.
Yeah.
Um, but
That's a
guys,
turn off.
yeah, it's a turn off. It is a little bit of a turn off. I think we covered all five couples. Did I miss anybody? Did we do Kirsten and Shaquille or no?
We did
Yeah, we
a
did.
little.
Yeah, we did.
Hmm.
Okay, guys, I'm telling you, between these two podcasts, it just really is something else. So, guys, I want to thank you for being here. Kimberly, tell them what's going on over on your channel before we get on out of here.
Oh, yes, thank you so much. So I am Kimberly Reviews on my channel here on YouTube. I watch Married at First Sight live on Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and Ready to Love Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we just sit, watch the show together at home on your own device, and we chat about what is going on live in the comments while the show is on. I'll mute while the show is on and then unmute during the commercial break so we can talk about what we saw. So please come on over.
Absolutely, absolutely, guys, and I mean, we do have a fun time. Roro has been over there. I'm over there
Yes.
oftentimes, not every week, but most weeks, and we do it. It's so much fun because the various
Yep.
people in the chat, they see things. It's so funny about this Married at
Right.
First Sight show. Everybody sees something that somebody else missed, or they see it in a
Hmm.
different way. So we're going to go ahead. I want to thank all of you for being here. Please don't forget, if you haven't already, if you didn't hit it coming in, please start to get in the habit of just liking the video when you come on in. You know you're going to have a good time. So hit that like button. That keeps us around. Um, Subscribe to Kimberly Reviews channel. She has a wonderful channel. She also does recaps and lives of live watch parties. So guys,
Thank you.
support your favorite
Yeah.
YouTuber by being there. This is Black History Month, so we're black, so support us too. And we're
Yes.
good. We're
That
good.
was
We're also high
cool.
quality too. So guys, I want to thank my moderators. That's LMV and Monique King, who are moderators extraordinaires and also members of the channel. And I'm so grateful to have them. Don't know what I would do without them. I want to thank Roro, who's also a member extraordinaire, for being here
Hey.
today. So she's now a panelist. I want to thank
Awesome.
Kirby. Kirby, thank you so much for coming up from the chat and being willing to be the male voice of reason on this panel. I just
Yes.
love it. I thank
Yes.
you guys so much. And we're
Thank
gonna
you.
get on out of here. Everybody, you have a great week. We'll see you back in another hour for Ready to Love if you watch that show. And even if you don't, just come back over and support us again, okay?
All right. Clapping
All
for you
right.
guys. I'm clapping for you
Oh,
guys.
Yes.
thank you. I'm clapping for you, Ro.
All right.
Woo!
Woo!
Yay, yay. All right, guys, we're out of here now. Bye.
Bye.